It's time for more Auction Day on Your Money.
Our baby boomers have outgrown their family homes, not because they need something bigger, but they need something which lets them live a little bit more of a little bit more of a lifestyle and maintain things a little bit less.
Yeah, they want to do less mowing and maintaining and live a little more. Australians aged over 50 are the fastest growing demographic in the country. And HighSpec property buyers agent Amanda Gould joins us now for a look at how the downsizer market is changing the way we buy and sell property. Amanda, welcome to you. Great to have you back with us once again.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Who are these downsizers and what do they want?
There's lots of things they want. So I actually use a great site called downsizing.com.au, which is targeted towards the downsizers, that has listings and information, retirement homes to over 55s. And one of the biggest reasons is, as you've said, less maintenance. They don't want to have the mowing the lawn, they just want to have that lock up and go. So house and garden, downsizing that, whether that be smaller or just going into a unit. They want the carefree lifestyle, so it's all about the lifestyle and being closer to the city or closer to amenities. We've got a client at the moment in Pymble that's downsizing from a large home around the $5 million mark, and they're not downsizing their budget, just downsizing their expectations of what they want to a much smaller property, a unit in the city. So yeah, so it's really interesting to see.
Because I thought one of the key drivers would be to unlock some of the cash that's tied up in the big family home.
It's a common misnomer. A lot of people think that they're going to be downsizing the budget, but some of them keep the same. Like he's looking at about a $4 million unit in Elizabeth Bay with views. So the budget is very on par with what he sold it for.
Is it because you know, some people are reluctant to leave their home, that they love their area or they just love their home, their neighbours and all these things, but there's attractions to downsize? Do they try and stay in the same area? Or?
That is a big factor. Family and friends is a big factor. Community is a big factor. So a lot of them might be going to church or love their local shopping centre, and they want to be close by to things that they know. And I've had a number of clients that have done that. We've just kept in the similar suburbs, in the surrounding suburbs to downsize to. But then you've got some that want to go out to, you know, and have a complete sea change or you know, go out to the country, and that's also a factor. So it's actually, there's a few different factors involved depending on the people, but community and family and friends is big.
So, I mean, some of the other attractions of you know, less maintenance and unlocking some capital, but there are other reasons to downsize too, aren't there?
Yeah,
as you get a bit infirm, it's, you know...
Peace of mind, not having any stairs, clearly, that's a big one. Although some of our downsizers are okay with stairs, usually that's a common. We want to have one level, like a duplex one level or a unit one level, lock up and go, so they can actually lock up and travel. A lot of them are wanting to travel. And once they get into that infirm stage, it might be an over 55s village that has a great community feel, or again, into a retirement home. So they've actually got those facilities.
What about there are quite a lot of that demographic that unfortunately have lost a spouse. Yeah. Statistically, ladies live longer, but they therefore, you know, just don't want to be in the big home by themselves. Sometimes the kids have got their own families and they've moved out. I mean, they're looking for probably security is a big issue, but still location. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's where we see the rise in the over 55s. We're seeing a lot more developers targeting that market. In fact, there's 8.1 million people in the over 50 market, in the over 50 demographic in Australia at the moment. So that's a big population, and we were looking at statistics on the downsizing website, and they were mentioning only 31,000 online, like realestate.com domain, are actually targeting those over 55s or retirement people. So that's interesting, very skewed stats there.
Do you sometimes, as a buyer's agent, have to alert people to the fact that they should be thinking about downsizing? Do you think some people, you know, it's hard to shoehorn them out of the big family home and they're reluctant to leave it, but I bet often once they have, they never look back. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, I've got a young family wanting to upsize at the moment, and in Mossman, which is a very popular suburb for us, and one of the key factors I'm speaking to most agents is saying, even though there's only one or two people in these rattling around in these old homes, they're just so reluctant to move because they know it so well, you know. But there's so many great, you know, whether it be over 55s or just smaller boutique blocks that they could move into that have lifts, and then they get another sense of community. There might be a pool is a really big driving factor, which you wouldn't have thought. I wouldn't have thought that was a big thing, but that's one thing that they're looking for in these resorts.
And is that because then they get the benefits of it? Perhaps they've had it in their large family home and growing up, but then I want it, but I don't want to maintain it.
I don't want to maintain it. Yeah, I don't want the pool boy. I don't want to have to do it.
Crawley every weekend.
Yeah.
So it must be a key market for you as a buyer's agent.
Yeah, look, it really is. We've seen such a big change, I suppose, in the last few years for us. We've been around for 8 years as buyer's agents in HighSpec, but it's just understanding that each person has something different. To some people want to come from a big house to a mini version of that into a smaller house. Some just want a unit. So it's really understanding. Or I've got somebody at the moment that I've just been in discussions with. They're wanting us to look in foster. So they're like completely out.
Well,
Yeah.
that's an interesting point that you make, because we talked about on the show, we've had that demographic that have traditionally, with this baby boomer crowd, that they've all gone to Noosa or these set areas along the coast, particularly on the east coast, where they were holiday destinations when they were young, and now they're retiring, they're wanting to go there. So are you seeing that split between that and then the people moving closer to amenity, maybe closer to the city or
I'd say a smaller percentage for us, for our clients, are moving to those holiday towns. And because they know them, they've been there many times, they might have even had a holiday home there. But there's a really great, again, community, great restaurants, they can walk everywhere, and it's really the convenience. But then we've got people that really just want to be in close to the action, and they come into the city from Pimple, like this client from Pimple, now into Elizabeth Bay. I mean, that's a massive change from a big, huge block that now he's not having to maintain to a fantastic unit in a boutique block, and we're looking for something.
Sure
You're not scared of gum trees anymore, leaves everywhere.
No, exactly.
Let's take a look at some examples. Some people, we've helped them with their big property switch. So it was a couple that sold a place in Wollstonecraft. Let's have a look at the house that they parted with.
Yes, so this was a really big house, 5-bedroom house. They actually were two doctors, and they worked from home. And they'd had this house for 40 years. So that was the only property they've ever bought. So obviously coming to a buyer's agent really was something that they needed to have help for. But beautiful home. And then we found them something.
So then they moved.
They moved to Narrabeen again.
So they sold this one for 4.16 million, which is obviously if they'd held it for 40 years, then you can presume they owned it outright.
Yes, they did. It was a great investment, family home, big family, and they just wanted a mini version, like I was mentioning before, of the house. So still a house feel. They didn't want to go to a unit, so they had a little garden, and they wanted to have that feel, but something smaller and manageable without too many stairs.
So then they moved to Narrabeen.
So we found this fantastic duplex with them in Narrabeen. They've done a little bit of an update since these photos, which is great because
they put their stamp on it.
She's a keen gardener, so she's made a lovely herb garden, and she's opened the kitchen up a little bit more. And even though it was lovely to begin with, and that's a 4-bedroom, but 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1 car, but the 3 bedrooms are downstairs, so they don't need to go upstairs, unless they've got the grandkids over, and they can send them up to like a rumpus / 4th bedroom.
So and that's still, I mean, it's a downsize, but it's from a 5-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. We're not talking to a 2-bedroom apartment or a bed sitter.
They've got a lot of grandkids, and they downsized to a 1.8, so that still left them a great nest egg.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a great example.
Enjoy their retirement with that. All right, another example. This was a family who had a place in Lindley Point.
Yes.
Let's take a look at what they started with.
So that's a beautiful spot, right near you're obviously right on the water. Big house. Again, the family had grown up. They had grandkids, but going up and down the stairs and maintaining the pool and not being close to everything was something that was a main concern for them. So they were more like, let's just get something smaller that's easy to maintain. They do a lot of travelling, so lock up and go. And we found them something in Mossman, which again, it was all part of the lifestyle, moving closer, that they're in walking distance to everything.
And they're after. Right, some stairs and stuff there though, clearly.
Pretty striking there.
There's
no lawn bowls in sight for these people.
No, definitely not. Look, they're very active people. So I asked them, the first thing we ask is stairs. Can you cope with a couple? Is it okay a flight of stairs, etc.? But this was a townhouse, so this was in a community. It actually has a pool in the community, in the community area, and again a smaller boutique block, lock up and go, right near the shops. So it's actually right near Cremorne shops. They walk out their back door and through their courtyard, and they took me up and had a coffee not long ago, and it's literally not even 2-minute walk from their backyard to their favourite coffee shop.
Sounds perfect.
And the movies up in Cremorne, they can walk up there. So they're the sort of things they want.
What sort of feedback do you get from downsizers once they've made the move? Because I imagine some are reluctant to jump, as we've discussed, but how do they feel after?
Oh, I have not met one that hasn't enjoyed the move and said, why didn't we do this sooner? because most of them, it really is about lifestyle and being close to everything. And oh wow, now we can walk. I mean, before in Linley Point, it's too far away from everything. They had to get in the car to do everything. They're just outside their door and they can walk to the shops, you know.
So this time of year, people have had Christmas, they've had time to speak with their family, a bit of a relax. If people are out there watching now and they're really thinking, this is my time of life, should I downsize? What do you think they should be thinking of?
I think they should be thinking this is a great time to buy. As we know, it's a buyer's market, so why not take advantage of it? A lot of them have had their property since the 70s, 80s, etc. So they're not impacted as much. You know, they're cashed up, an ageing population, and they're ready to buy. So they're a great contender to actually get the property of their dreams with a lot less maintenance.
But a lot of those people might be thinking, okay, we're in a bit of a downturn at the moment. If I hang in there for another few more years, that 10% in the market's going to pull back, should go back on. Is it worth sitting it out?
I don't think so. You know, most of these people have actually had their homes for 20, 30, 40 years.
So they've seen a few property cycles.
They've seen the cycle, they've seen the gain. So they might have, my parents bought their house for $12,000 in Monavale in 1972.
Yeah, amazing.
You know what I mean? Like, so you can, they've already seen the growth. Doesn't matter if they sell for 1.5 or 1.55 or 1.6 really, because they've already made that gain. So, and they can get a lot with that money.
And in general, if there's a percentage loss on the property they're selling and they're buying another one within the same market, then it sort of should be take from Peter to give to Paul.
Exactly. And it's such a great time to buy. And like I was mentioning before, the developers are actually now starting to target more of the downsizers. So they're doing things that are more in keeping with them.
Especially those baby boomers. There's a lot of them, isn't there? It's a big full group.
It's a long time between sort of, retirement and old age now.
Exactly. I mean, look, when it said there was, over 8 million people in the over 50 category, I mean, I'll be there next year.
Yeah.
You know, well, not over, but and you think, wow, okay, well, if that's the next chapter of your life, really, let's start looking towards that. Go and see a financial advisor, see a buyer's agent, and see what you can do with the money, and make sure you're using it effectively.
Yeah, great. Good advice. Amanda Gould, great to have you on the show. As always, looking forward to an exciting 2019 and happy Australia Day.
Yeah, happy Australia Day to you. Thanks for having me.